Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Embracing Infinity. I'm Jennifer Rose, and we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. How are all of you today? And happy Friday, happy weekend. I hope you're all doing well. It does feel like the energies have kind of mellowed out a little bit from how they've been in the last couple of weeks, but we are in a big Aries season with lots of planets, as I spoke about with my good friend and astrologer Danny Santos yesterday. So we're gonna go the next step with that too, and talk with Colin Walker about where this is all taking us. So I'm super excited. And thank you all for joining us and waiting for us to go live too, because I see you've all been there. So thank you, my friends. It's really good to see all of you here today. Just one quick announcement coming up at 3:30 Pacific, 11:30 in the UK. Our host and the owner of the Sacred Spiral Network is going live on the Psychic Hour with guest Michael Christopher, who you all know as a psychic medium and has the show Spiritually Imperfect with Jennifer Lee. So one more show this afternoon for y'all to enjoy. And then we're off for the weekend, blast off too. So let me say hi to everybody real quick as we get started. Hello, Heidi. Thank you for joining us from Boulder, Colorado, always supporting us. Hello, me and my shadow. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi, Kellyanne. Good to see you too, love. Thank you. Thank you. I see everybody is just finding their way in. Hello, Christine. Hello, Jennifer McCormick. How are you two beautiful ladies? Thank you for being here as well too. And Brian Lar, there he is. The shiny happy people. That is us, huh, Brian? It kind of reminds me of the REM song, Shiny Happy People. But yes, indeed. We're shining bright, and hopefully lighting a little torch as we move through this very big, expansive, and intense ascension process that we're all feeling. Hello, Miss Linda Owen. Good to see you too, beautiful. Welcome. Hello, Helen. And Arnie Layton is here too. So thank you both for supporting and being here. Good to see you very much. Hi, Bernie. Good to see you. Abuelita. Wow, it's getting busy already. I'm just like watching more and more of you pop on as we're going. Hello, Kim Princess. Good to see you, love. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the compliment, Jennifer. It was a fun show yesterday. Danny and I are kind of a riot together when the two of us get together too. So thank you so much too. All right, everybody. How are we doing? How are we doing with the energies? How's everybody feeling? Are we heavy? Are we light? Are we somewhere in between? Let's, we can do a little check to see kind of how we're feeling. But we've been going in our waves, and things are kind of spicy out there. But overall, I kind of feel like we're managing things pretty well. So, but I'm curious how you're all feeling and what you guys are thinking too with that too. But I also want to thank our producer, Kelly Brickle, for taking good care of us and helping us, as she always does, with the lives too. And also thank you for hearting our video while you're on today, or giving it a thumbs up if you're over on YouTube. And feel free to follow, tag, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It helps us. If you've enjoyed this, if you've gotten a little something out of it and have a chance to give a little bit back, that little bit of energy actually goes a long way. So we greatly appreciate it. You can find me over at mediumjenniferrose.com as well too. And I did just start out a YouTube channel. Finally, people asked me for like 3-4 years, and I finally did it. So if any of you want to pop over there too, I'm steadily, slowly growing it over there too, and that's at Medium Jennifer Rose as well too. So with no further ado, let me bring on my good friend, a wonderful medium, channel, and author, and very cosmic, and always helping us move through the energies in such a beautiful and magnificent way. So let's welcome the fabulous, magnificent Colin Walker.
Hi, Jennifer. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
So I know you don't want me to embarrass you with your bio, but I had to at least give you a few adjectives there. So hopefully I didn't embarrass you too
I
much.
always try to avoid it.
I know. I know. You're very humble. Hi, Lynn Juno. Good to see you. Hi, Samantha and Michelle Oliver. Good to see you as well, too. So, all right. How are you doing, Colin?
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Tripping these waves, riding them as always.
Yeah.
Yeah, complete mix.
Yeah. And you stayed up late for all of us. So thank you, because I know it's quite a bit later over there. So,
You guys, I don't know what it is. You guys like magnets. For some reason, I'm finding myself sitting here at 3 o'clock in the morning listening to you guys. It's like, go to bed.
I know.
But,
Well, I didn't keep you up that late, but if you're on an evening show, yep, that happens.
and it's the
So
only, but it's the only thing I stay up for. Other than that, I don't
thank
bother.
you. Well, you know how much we love you too. It's very mutual. It's very
I think
mutual.
thank you so much. Jennifer, thank you. And
You're
you and
welcome.
Kelly
Thank you,
and
Colin.
Sacred Spiral, everything what you guys are all doing is absolutely, I think, incredible, personally.
We're definitely tripping the light fantastic.
Yeah, let's go
Yes.
for it.
Let's go for it. And hello to everybody who's joined us too. By the way, if you're new here or new to Colin, Colin has a page over on Facebook called the Menorca Consciousness Group. I just got a knock here, so Spirit's in the house. So wow, well done, Spirit. Fabulous. Thank you. You can also find him on YouTube at Menorca Consciousness Group, and his website is ethericweb.com as well too. And he's over on Instagram, but I think you're more active on Facebook. But this is his book because I love playing Vanna White, the A to Z Index of Spiritualism. So literally any word you ever thought of and you want to know what it means and when it terms of spirituality is in there A to Z like an encyclopedia. Beautiful, wonderful book. And everybody, you can go on his website and order a copy.
Suits you perfect, Jennifer.
I love playing Vanna White. It's fun.
Oh.
All right. So we got a couple things happening. This month is very significant. This year is very significant. So this is the big year and the big month of huge transformation. We've been talking about this shift on and on for months and years now too, but now we're kind of like in the climax of it, the thick of it, the one of the biggest parts of it too. And so there's this separation happening, and then we're going over here, and it's like, what's over there? We know what infinity is, but we're looking at it through a certain kind of lens. So there's even beyond infinity. So we're going really big and expanded with our minds. But let's start at step one with the ascension and talking a little bit about the dimensions, because I think that might be a little confusing. Are we going into fourth? Or are we going into fifth? Or does it matter? Should we just leave that alone? Is it infinity dimension?
This is all interesting stuff, isn't it? It's all it's real. The thing about it is it's real. If I may, I just want to say hello to everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Really appreciate it lots. Thank you so much. It's no longer intellectual. We're not just thinking about it. It's not over there somewhere. It's now here, and it's moving through the core of our being. I think that's the big one. And so if that's the case, then how do we manage it? And where do we go with it? So the 3D to me personally, I've got to say this, it's like everybody seems to be missing out the 4D. It's like they've just skipped from the 3D to the 5. And it's like...
A lot of people say 4D is time. Do you agree with that?
Well, not entirely. I kind of get where they're coming from, but the third
time
dimension...
is illusion too, right?
Yeah.
So it's tricky. Yeah.
Well, basically, for me, time is a wavelength which the mind will attune to and slow itself down according to be able to. The mind will slow its frequency down to match the frequency of time on the planet. Mm-hmm. But in reality, time is illusion. And the only reason why we do that is so time helps us make sense of this space, the physical world. The planet's moving. etc.
The cycles, day and night.
That's right.
Summer
Yeah.
and
Other
winter.
than that, we don't need time. So we've lowered our frequency to match the frequency of what we think is time, because it's measurement in the 3D. So for me, probably mainly time matches the 3D. The 4D obviously it's full of new experiences and energies and frequencies and vibrations. In the 4D, we can say a little bit it's a transitional dimension, but I mean, really, do we actually understand the 4D fully? Just to loosely say, oh, we're in transition, we just know, but we're going to the 5th. So without getting technical and going into it too much, let's just say the dimensions are I've just looked at Lynn's yeah, thanks.
Now
Lynn.
I started this because Colin's making that word a good word. He's changing that word to what it should be and not what it is right now. And that's one of the structures that needs a little revamping, a little remodeling, a little cleanup. We all know this to be true. But Colin, you are like the dad to our community. So we thank you for being you.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I know you didn't ask for that role, but yet here you are.
That's true. I don't ask for anything. So yeah, it's like everything has always been there. All the dimensions have been there, like the spirit world. It's always been there. So it's not as if it's just opening up. What's happening is we are opening up to it at this point of evolution, and we can match them coming up through. We can put the 4D to the heart center.
Oh, I love that.
Because really, that the 4D is the middle. It's the balance. It's the sense of this is where equilibrium takes place, so to speak. So
Ernie called me Vanna Rose.
Vanna Rose. It's so true.
Thank you. We do love humor here. Colin and I and Kelly, we love a good sense of humor. So thank you.
We're going to be I know we're going to start tripping shortly. I can feel it.
We're going to start tripping just on the light itself.
That's it. So the question is, where do we go? What from this ascension process? I think we can safely say we've lived in a certain reality according to the dimensions what we've perceived. Like everything is as we perceive it to be. Nothing really exists, but that's for a different show.
Is it really? We're going beyond infinity.
This is the one. This is what's beyond infinity. What's beyond infinity? We can do it in a nutshell. Emptiness.
Emptiness. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ascension process is really kind of helping us. But with it, like you said, Jennifer, the last couple of weeks, from the 20th of March, we can kind of almost put a thing here. From the 20th of March, a major shift took place. Definitely. Yeah. The reality what we was all existing in on the planet, globally, everyone, that reality was altered. And our mind moved to the new reality. For me, that happened on the 20th of March. And so now these aspects, what we're feeling and what's happening to us is all part of that transition into the new reality, which then is all itself part of the expansion and ascension process. So the picture is kind of quite clear. Lynn, thank you so much.
We love you, Colin, so much. We're so grateful to have you. So what's interesting about this is that we've shifted, but we have memory of where the energy was before the shift, but just enough memory so that our psyches don't, split in half and think we're going mad, right? Or just, but the thing is we can shift and it be something very new and it all makes sense. So, because my understanding is we can't forget, but we have to move forward at the same time. So there needs to be enough memory that we can retain, and yet everything seems to be as it was before, but it wasn't.
Yes. Yeah.
Beyond the beyond.
Beyond the beyond, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer Max here.
I know. We love Jennifer.
So what we're looking at with that one, Jennifer, is infinity itself, and in this case, beyond infinity. We can say, okay, let's dissolve everything and what's left. And the memory aspect is what permeates the space. So we're never going to forget, because every thought, every feeling is ever present in the space, whether we say it's in the ether. And I mean, if we narrow it down, and I'm being very careful here, if we narrow things down and we say, okay, where is all the memory stored? We presume it's stored within us. And we go, okay, where within us is it stored? So in effect, what we're looking at is it's stored in the space around us, in that what we call space. So then we go, okay, so it's in the ether. Well, if it's in the ether, that's a slight step towards the Akashic, which we know the Akashic records hold all the information and knowledge, etc. But we're still narrowing ourselves down. We've still got blinkers on when we're thinking this way. If we go, okay, let's imagine that all experience, what all of us have experienced forever through countless lifetimes, is memorized and stored somewhere, then it's in the vastness of infinity and beyond. And we can recall it at any moment with a clear mind. Or the clearer our consciousness is, the quicker and more alert we can be to all the memories, what we've ever experienced. If that makes sense.
Makes total sense.
So already we're tripping, aren't we? Already we're
yeah, we are. Yeah, because and it's interesting because we're in this sort of in between space, but then we're feeling the doorway. We're in the in between space that we're in. We could maybe say is fourth dimension, because it's very much a threshold. It's like crossing the threshold into this unknown room, but it's lit up. But we don't know what we're going to find. We don't know what it's going to be like. We just feel that it's there, but here it is calling us in, like, come through the doorway.
Yeah, for those what don't want to go, they're going to get pushed through it.
I know. No one gets left behind, hopefully.
Nobody's going to get left behind. That's the game.
But yeah, it's this unknown. So if infinity as we know it, which we think is everything and unending, well, what's behind that? What's beyond that? What created infinity? What made, so it's like as if our mind isn't pretzeled enough. But when we expand our awareness, it makes room. It makes space for understanding to come in, versus the limited perception, which has its value. It has its purpose so that we can live our human story and our human life too. But when we expand it out, everything looks different. It's a whole nother lens. And then I look at infinity, which is my logo, and I'm looking at it like this. And I've been in the infinity for years, since like 2020, infinity came to me. But I'm like, what's on the other side of that? Because I can only see it like this, but I know there's something on the other side of it.
So this is brilliant stuff, Jennifer. We know when we meditate, certain meditations, because obviously there's different meditations, but there's specific times when we can meditate and we go into something what appears to be and can be referred to as the void, beyond time, and it seems in that meditation beyond space. There is no time, no space existing, that everything just is. So all the way, however we describe things, again, hi Heidi. So however we describe things with the human mind, including language and written word, there's a limitation to that. There's a point where we have to feel what reality actually is. So we can read something, we can hear something, we can talk about something. They're all like steps on the ladder. And the top rung on the ladder, in this instance, referring to this space, the top rung on the ladder is infinity. So we say, okay, what's beyond infinity? Because if the physical aspects, the mental, the emotional, the wavelength frequencies, vibrations, what we understand, all knowledge and understanding on the planet, all history, etc., and all forms of communication, language-wise or otherwise, are all rungs on the ladder. All stages of evolution, rungs of the ladder. And then our consciousness at this moment is doing exactly as you described. It's expanding beyond. So when we picture a ladder and the last rung is infinity, it's telling us the ladder no longer exists. And everything
The
on that ladder
no longer exists.
And all things on that ladder no longer exist. They only exist in their purest original form, if that makes sense.
I'm rubbing my nose, so it makes sense.
So beyond infinity, the other point, just quickly then, the other point beyond infinity. Let's draw back a bit. Let's go to the dimensions when we make reference from the first dimension to the seventh dimension, as an example. Okay, ascending. Yes, Heidi. So when we go through the dimensions,
up and away, I couldn't help it.
Go for it. I feel like Buzz Lightyear sometimes.
I know.
So when we go from the dimensions 1 to 7, and forgetting the rest around it in the periphery, but let's stick to the 1 to 7, and which a lot of people are referring to now, like we do. We're going from the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th and 6th, so on. Okay. We're at the point now, forget it. We can just forget dimensions. We can forget the thought or concept of dimensions. We've simply used them to help us progress in this short while forward to try to make sense of something. What is still is beyond most people's comprehension. So, and what we're looking at is the future will be without language, etc., etc. The future is phenomenal. Beyond what we know and where are we going is phenomenal as far as I'm concerned. And it's not as if we're having a journey going somewhere. We use that because that matches time. I'm going from A to B. So there's the time factor, mentally, what we tune into. When we move our mind beyond all these aspects, then we're sitting somewhere very special.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we jumped into that one, didn't we, quick?
I know. Well, it's my mind is so happy. It's just buzzing away right now too. But it sounds like if we were to simplify that, we don't need to get too fixated on the details, like what dimension are we in, or what's this, or what's that. Because if we fixated on it, then we're missing other parts that are helpful. So open it up to just kind of being a space to hold all of it.
100%.
But the heart is involved, and so heart connection in a way that's even beyond as we maybe fully understand the heart connection to be. But let's look at the heart connection as being another tier. So expansion, not fixation, heart connection beyond that which we know it. So expanded heart connection, expansion, and then the telepathic, beautiful space that is literally like 1, 2, door number 3.
Yeah.
that we're going into. So move into less fixation, stay connected in the heart.
Yeah.
And then cross the threshold. And this is where our telepathic connection is going to get stronger. So that is one thing that people could work on. That if I were to say one thing that you could work on to move into that space with more ease, it would be your telepathic connection, your ability to channel. So doing that through meditation, it's stillness, finding some quiet time, not getting too fixated on all of the details. That feels, and that's not an easy task, but I think a worthwhile one too.
Yeah, definitely. 100%, Jennifer, I would agree. This aspect of well, the reality of stillness. Stillness guides the mind to that which is beyond infinity.
It does. Let's think about consciousness created infinity and gave it to us and said, here, infinity.
Yeah.
Right. So it got telepathically channeled into us, and we're like, ooh, how smart we are, infinity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, what created infinity? What created energy? What created consciousness? What created the universe or the multiverse? Like, what's behind that? So it's like behind, there's just what made the vastness? What's vast beyond vastness? I mean,
Yeah. Well, if we go back to infinity again, and if we look at the word itself, infinity, and where it came from and what it relates to, infinity also relates to time. Time, we know, is of the third dimensional reality. So therefore, time, our fixation, if you like, with time, believing it to be true, which we can say it's simply a wave of energy, what we tune into. And according to time, we then go day, month, week, year, century, etc., even up to eon. And then our limit to explain, time finishes at infinity. Because infinity is a word what tries to describe something which is limitless. So we're now going to be at a big loss. This change is really throwing everything out. And it's going, get rid of the lot, guys. Everything you knew up to 2 minutes ago, forget it. Let go.
Yeah, exactly what Christine said.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. We might have to unlearn everything
exactly.
we saw previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christine. Well, it's not even, I agree, Christine. It's not even unlearning. It's just transforming the old and just letting go of everything. And it's not so much unlearning it. It's just like, sorry.
It's just stepping into a new space.
Yeah, that is no longer applicable because it's of a dense nature and dense frequency, which no longer serves us. In fact, the only time it serves us is to take hold of it, draw it to our light and use it as a transformation process and go, okay, that energy, and we do this all the time when we're doing letting go, etc. We draw it to us in order to be transformed. And what are we transforming into? The sense of greater clarity. In that greater clarity, we move beyond infinity because we've just stepped beyond time. And we know infinity relates to time. So it's like, forget it, guys. What's next? Well, let's go beyond infinity then. And we can say, okay, first thing what you're going to come across is emptiness. That nothing from its own side exists. What's the world going to be like at that point? Telepathy is going to be the major one as far as communication is concerned. Telekinesis and moving objects, etc., is going to be second nature to us, if not first nature. How will we survive? Like Aini mentioned, in the body, still being in the physical body. Well, we'll recognize the physical body as something refined, and we will replenish it literally at that point through prana. We'll be replenishing that light being with light, and that will be the place and location we're going to be existing in and from. So we'll just be vibrating at such a frequency. The physical form won't appear as it currently does at all to anybody, because it's going to be lighter. It's going to have ascended in its own form.
I see more of the sort of etheric nature of our physical reality as it is before our perception is changed to make it solid. Too. So there is talk about the light body, the crystalline body, and I think that might be confuses some people too. And infinity, the loop, is there linear progression beyond it? See, that's what we're saying. Like, what's beyond that?
Michelle, I love it. Is infinity?
Might have to change the name of my show to Beyond Infinity.
Well,
just when we started giving it a hug.
Very, very interesting, isn't it?
I know, right?
Well, we can't dismiss any, can we? Let's say we've got linear, we can have the loop. My personal understanding so far is when we look at geometry, especially sacred geometry, all shapes apply because they all match all the dimensions. However, my number one kind of summary out of all of it is we are spirals of energy. We never go round in circles. You know, there's like because we've used this saying, haven't we, for years? Oh, you're going round in circles. Everybody's familiar with that terminology. You know, like daily life, it's like the hamster wheel going round and round and round.
Right.
Actually, that's not correct because we're
feels
never.
like it to some people.
Yeah.
I was saying it just feels like it to some people. It feels like they're going in circles because the patterns, because there's so many patterns that we're aware of and patterns keep repeating and things like that. And we're just like, it really is a spiral and you never truly fall down it, but you have the perception of falling. But a lot of times the fall is actually being pushed up, but you feel the pressure of the push.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if we imagine ourselves on the spiral, and everything is always in motion, then we're never going round in a circle. And we've got the ability to ascend or descend on the spiral and we can say the spiral represents awareness, and awareness itself is beyond infinity. It's all pervasive, so to speak. So then you go, okay, let's have a look at this spiral. Where's my consciousness on the spiral of awareness? Well, then if we move our consciousness at the moment is operating from a certain frequency upon the spiral of our awareness. So we've got consciousness, spiral of awareness. So Colin's going to move his mind slightly. He's always in motion, but he's intently moving his mind. He's just shifted along the spiral. So then I can ascend, not I, but Colin's, consciousness may ascend or descend. That ascension process or descension is dependent on one thing, and that is the experience, what Colin is experiencing each given moment. If I'm experiencing something which is heavy, then I'm going to come down the spiral.
Yeah, so you're on a frequency. So we're traveling like a frequency. And I would just offer that in that travel, we're still moving forward in some direction.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Both existed at once, because that's the nature of the paradoxical cosmic humor of it all.
And likewise, when we feel on a high, the mind descends up the spiral. And it trips different frequencies. And as it's going up the spiral, we know what a spiral looks like. It looks like a V. So and this is the stage we're at the minute. As a species, there's a part of our consciousness which is ascending. And as it ascends, it's expanding because the spiral expands as we ascend.
Oh, I love it. I love that. Okay. This is good stuff. Now, isn't it funny that we were on the astrology show yesterday, Danny was showing the sign of the Aries, because everything's in Aries right now, and it looks like a V with the little circles on the end.
I watched that part. I was interested.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it? We're giving birth to a completely new reality.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Jennifer. Yeah. And likewise, if we, I'm just wondering now. Okay, I've got spirit here. I've got certain beings here, and I'm kind of. They kind of let me know what I can and cannot say at the moment. So, but we can stick to the spiral. That's okay, right? So we can stick to the spiral, and predominantly we believe and understand, and we have the proof that we are ascending, and therefore we're expanding simultaneously. It's almost like each layer or the design of the spiral is almost like a pathway. It's like we're walking along, and as we're walking along the path of the spiral, ascend in an ascended fashion, every single step we take, we meet a different frequency. Therefore, we resonate at a different frequency, and that's happening every nanosecond of our being. And that's where we can safely say change is constant.
Yeah.
Because it is. I don't know if you want. These are some beautiful comments.
I know. Yeah, we should probably tackle some of these too. And but I became very aware of this, a few years ago, and that's, you've heard me say it's like every time you talk to a different person, you're a slightly different version of yourself. Every time you move into a different room in your house, like you shifted, reality has shifted. It just seems seamless, but it's really not. We're constantly, and so it's like to tap into understanding the multidimensionality of all of this. It's sexy stuff. It can be scary too for some people, like that, but it's pretty sexy stuff when you think about it. Like that's totally. A wow. That's a
well, actually, actually, the vibration of it, Jennifer, is beyond sex. So it is very sexy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to find the right word, but that was a good one. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So Heidi saw a reel from a remote viewer that recently saw white within the intestines and body changes. She said that she was told by her guides that bodies are shifting into 5D and takes 18 months to 2 years to shift. It wasn't someone she follows, so she's taken this as a synchronicity. So what are your thoughts? So she saw this reel, it had this information, and she's curious what your thoughts are. So the concept resonates for her.
Yes, maybe not the exact detail, but and anything what's beneficial for all of us when we're reading or listening to something or someone, it's that classic, take what you can, what resonates with us.
Yeah.
And because it means that moment of resonance is telling us there's a truth resonating which matches our own, so to speak. I mean, if we expanded slightly on that, that's why, like all of us here in this space now, not just myself and Jennifer, but everybody, all of us, Kelly, everybody in the chat, somehow our spiral of truth is resonating to a certain point and coming together. So yeah, Heidi, a good one. I mean, time-wise, I've got to confess, I'm slightly cautious about some of the stuff out there because a huge amount of it has been proven to be wrong, especially when they start giving times and dates. For me personally, I'm exceptionally cautious about giving times and dates. But like you said, the concept is there. So it's like, okay, that resonates with me. I'm accepting it. Brilliant stuff.
I wonder if maybe we could, people could be ascending at different rates depending on where they are in their consciousness or just what their soul journey is. So a year and a half to 2 may be a general, but it might not be exact for everybody because some people can have very quick expansions and some people have a little bit more slow going expansions too. But we're all going somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah. Good point, Jennifer. It's like we're all going together, but there's just those different time difference. It's like when we have a vibration change. So let's say at the minute I'm in Czech Republic, let's say a wave hits at a certain moment and it can change things. Hi, Michael, spiralers. And
the MZ is in the house.
Yeah. and on the other side of the world, the wave hits at a different time, different location. So the shift takes place, what we think in air terms as a different time. I mean, instantly, when we think of, again, we're back to everything being in the now, it's happening. But the way our mind registers it, according to our perception, which then is made up of all the multitude of experience we've ever had, exactly what you're saying, Jennifer. Somebody will experience one thing yesterday, and another one might experience it till tomorrow, or might not.
Correct. If we changed in a moment, we would combust. This is why the ascension is happening as it is right now. The body can only handle so much at once. So could our circuits get fried if we did too much all at once?
There's a certain awakening where if everybody had it, they'd be off the planet instantly.
So we'd just go straight over to spirit world instead.
Boom, gone. That's it. This is a good point as well, because I really believe that everything, including the timing, is orchestrated with meticulous, precise perfection according to the cosmos. And the only reason why we can't understand that is because our mind's still on these frequencies which are still relatively closed off. But as soon as we clear everything, we then understand what cosmic order is. And we see it clearly. We have the knowing that cosmic order is very present.
Sometimes we get that clarity and then we lose it.
Yeah.
That's pretty common. You go kind of in and out of that sort of enlightened samadhi kind of thing too, and then you kind of come back and you go, oh, I want that back again too. But you know, there's value to it, a human experience, and we're helping each other along the way as well too. I'm thinking what a lot of us are experiencing, especially as spiritually minded, but I think everybody is feeling it in the world, or at least massive amounts of people. So a couple of things I want to ask you: the dreams, the time glitches, the weird experiences that we're having.
Yeah.
Colin and I have our telepathic connection.
So
we were talking about Nikola Tesla, and we were talking about the etheric layer, you know, the ether. And then I got in a car, and literally, like just a few minutes later after our conversation, I get in a car and our license plate on a Tesla that says Ether 17 on it. We were tripping out. And then the other day I'm running errands, and I'm like, I'm not running errands, Colin. And he's like, give me some chocolate while you're at it. And I'm like, well, I'm in the chocolate store right now. I literally was in a store that sold only chocolate. I mean, and we're just having so much fun.
And what's the distance in mileage from Czech Republic, where I am, to where you are on the West Coast?
Exactly. Thousands and thousands of miles, but it doesn't count when you're
miles, maybe.
It doesn't count in telepathy.
Spontaneous.
And the ego's gone with telepathy too, because no one can hide anything too. But the time glitches, the dreams, the weird happenings, the deja vus, like a lot of that right now, the synchronicities. Yeah.
So I like this one, Jennifer. I've got to confess, I like this because this is about the now, isn't it? So, okay. So these cosmic waves, what's in, as they're sweeping across the planet, coming through our auric field, and then through the body, through the emotional field, and through the mental field of who we are, and of course, this whole energetic field as well. So as these waves come through, the experiences, the energy, what we've gathered and collected and amassed through all of our experiences rests upon each particle of our being. And so our memories, thoughts, emotions, etc., they're all resting in and around the particles, atoms, molecules of who we are. So then this cosmic wave comes in. Within the cosmic waves, obviously it's light energy, minimum. It's beyond light, but it comes in, sweeps through the auric field, and then it collides with all these atoms and particles. And then everything, all the information, what's stored on the particles and atoms of our being, especially emotionally and mentally, gets shifted. They're not disturbed.
Quantum.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
It's shifted. And what happens, they get loosened up. They're no longer stuck around the particle. A wave has hit it and it's loosened them up, and therefore they come floating to the surface. And they feel like fragments. And this is what we've just experienced from the 20th of March, and what's still playing out now and going to continue. The light is hitting us, and it's creating fragments. It's breaking all the density up from the old vibrations and the old dimensions which we've existed in. And in that, as it loosens up, it comes through from the soul, through the subconscious mind, into the present, what we call the present consciousness, which is the one we're speaking at the moment. Right. And then it shows itself in the form of memories, comes out in dream states. Dream states can be, at the minute, some people experience dream states where they're almost a bit nightmare-ish as well. But there's a specific reason for that.
Yeah.
Because the storage space inside us is not being in order. So that's a different subject altogether. But yeah, So what's happening is what's next after that, as these are loosening up and being fragmented, what's the next stage? Well, the next stage, the first thing we've got to do is protect our mind during this change, which is phenomenal. Focus on the stillness as much as we can and manage our energies, take responsibility. And this is, we come back to the adults coming into the room now.
Thank God for that.
Because we've got to acknowledge we are adult spiritual beings, or whatever beings we want to refer to it. That's a terminology anyway. But beings of, in minimum, beings of light, but beings of energy. So as they come up, it's like, okay, we've got to dissolve them or transform them. So I go, this is interesting. They're coming up. It might feel unstable. We might get dizzy. We might get nauseous feelings, etc. Everything is happening at the moment. Sleepless nights, etc., etc. So yes, Cindy, absolutely. Accountability. We've got to take accountability for ourselves. I love that word.
Definitely.
And the next stage is we're becoming lighter because it matches the ascension. This is and then from the ascension is the change from one reality to the other. So you can see they're all fitting in line and forming this structure. So it's like wave comes in, hits all the particles, atoms, all the old emotions come up, all the old thoughts. It kind of shows itself and reveals itself in different ways within and around us. That means from that point, we're gaining a bit more clarity because we're clearing. That means we're automatically going to ascend and expand. And therefore, we're going to experience this new reality. That door of this new reality is just opened up. In fact, I'm not even 100% certain it's open. I think we might have just turned the handle. We haven't started opening the door yet.
Yeah, there's a little peekaboo in there. I can see.
Yes, that one.
There's a little bit. But remember, I kept saying, "What's in there? What's in there? What's in there?" Like there's something else, and we're feeling it. We know there's something else. Like what's it? Because we all are wanting. We're being pulled there, right?
Yeah.
Too.
The new reality.
So what you speak of, because I'm trying to connect some dots with my own mind here. So what you speak of, I remember seeing a little reel of a lady who understands quantum physics, and she was saying when energy or light hits an atom, it excites it, and then the particle jumps, and it moves from one location to another, right? And so, the in between is the gap from how did it get here? What happened in between? Because when a particle switches places, same particle, but it switches places, so it jumps, but you don't see any movement too. There's a gap in between of where did it go and then how did it get here? Does that make sense?
Yeah, relocating.
Yeah, so it relocates, but it's that part in between. It's that gap in between. Does that make sense? Because I'm connecting that to what you were just speaking of.
Yep.
So you're talking about we're getting, the light is hitting us.
Yeah.
And then we're moving in this direction. Old things are getting kind of spit out.
Yeah.
In simple terms.
Yes.
But there's a gap. Like there is a void or a gap or a blank space or an empty space. Right. And that's the part we don't see. But are we going through that empty space and then coming out into this space? So the light has to hit all of our particles and then poof.
Yeah, well, that we could say this. Oh, I hope everybody's staying with us on this one because this is really interesting stuff.
I'm not a quantum physicist, but that's why I'm like trying my best to put the pieces together with the mind I have.
So we can say the gap from the presence of one particle to the presence of the next, or where it's moved from one place to the other. We can say that gap is, oh, bless her. Oh, yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Crystalline.
I know. So happy for you, Christine.
Thank you, Christine. So that gap, that what we call the gap or the space, my understanding is that is where the true nature of reality lies. If we see a particle in one place and a particle move to the other, we're still perceiving it from a certain frequency of consciousness. So it means we're perceiving it almost and bordering somewhere, almost with the physical eyes and the physical concept still. It's the space we want to get to, because that from the space, we will then understand. It's like we'll take let's say we're looking at the space and we're looking at the movement of the particles. And we're looking at it from this position, okay? What we want to do is get into the space and see from the space the shift. And because when we're in the space, that space is in minimum, is the true nature, where the true nature of reality and existence actually is. And therefore, if we can put our mind in there, our perception will tell us and give us the understanding and knowledge of what's actually taking place. So we're still the observer in this point. When we're describing the particles and the space, we're still the observer. We want to become them because we are them. So the fact that we're having this conversation tells us we are getting so close to becoming them, because we're talking about them. 10 years ago, we won't have these conversations because it won't be, and we wouldn't have the mind to think of them and debate them and discuss them. So it's like within our grasp now. Example 3D,
3D, 4D space, 5D move particle. I love that. That's pretty cool. But I think and let me know if I'm right. It's okay if I'm wrong. We get fixated on watching the jump and where we're jumping to, but we're forgetting it's this part that it seems like if we focus on the part we don't know, and tune into that stillness, that oneness, that lightness of being, and become into that's the portal to get to here. So it's we think we're jumping or we're leaping, we're ascending, we're doing this, but there's a portal to there, and it's like, but that's where our mind needs to shift to, is the portal of the unknown, and that's what takes us out the other side. Is like kind of like going through a black hole or a wormhole or something like that. I know
something here, Jennifer.
Well,
Right then.
I don't get to talk like this very often, Colin. So let's just kidding. Is your mind a pretzel yet, everybody? Mind is just a little bit, but I like it. So it's fun to stretch. We got to stretch the things around a little bit.
This is what we all need to be doing, isn't it? Stretching it. This is what spirits do anyway. They stretch our consciousness, and we go, that was difficult. It's like, it's supposed to be, because we're stretching your mind open so you can understand everything. So the portal, the doorway, my understanding is we're approaching the edge of the portal. We're approaching not the end of it. I don't want to say that because it sounds too definitive. But we can say definitive on one level. But we're approaching. So imagine we've entered into a portal. Let's imagine that the whole space of this planet and this realm is a portal. Okay? And we've stepped into it. And we're moving constantly through it, through lifetime. We keep coming and keep going. And because it's just this one huge cosmic portal. Okay? And now we're at that one moment on the very edge, or approaching the very edge of it. If anybody's getting this, guys, I think you will.
I think we're getting it. Yeah, I think we're getting it.
I think everybody's going to love this part, hopefully. Once we've all reached that point on the edge of the portal, we're going to have the change. And a new start of a new portal is going to open up for us. And that's where the new reality is going to be. So if you imagine going in to a portal or coming down into one, like a V-shaped, like the ovary, V-shape, we've come into it, and we're at that point where it's going to open up. When enough light, when humanity generates, not just shines, actually generates enough light by doing their own spiritual practice and meditating in stillness and really generating it, when enough minds can do that, enough souls, that's going to give it the strength as a collective to open the edge of the portal into the new one. And at that point, you can forget dimensional stuff. At that point, we are talking beyond infinity.
Yeah.
And the next one will just open. Cindy, when is this shift to happen? What time is it? About 10, 15 minutes, Cindy.
Over here.
About 10 or 15
No.
minutes.
No.
I'm so
Are
sorry.
you familiar with A Wrinkle in Time? It was a children's book that was made into a movie twice. So
Vaguely, but
yeah,
no.
it was a children's book, and I'm sure the author channeled this information because she even understood that our bodies were universes within universes and things like that. But these guides showed up. I'm going to take my little dress here, and don't worry, there's another layer underneath. So, these guides showed up to explain how they were going to do some travel from like the Earth reality to another space in the universe far, far away, because they had to go rescue the children's father, who had gone through some kind of time travel machine and ended up in sort of a dark planet, right? And so she explained that it would take very, very long to get from A to B, right? But if you make a wrinkle in time, the space, it's
Yes.
very quick.
Yeah. Bending.
Right? Yeah.
It's like bending light or bending space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get this, Jennifer. That's an aspect what fascinates me. I've just had a thought placed in my awareness at this minute as you was talking about this, the portal and opening it up. We could ask ourselves this question: what if a frequency of our higher self is already standing in the new portal?
Yes.
And orchestrating and guiding us into it on a physical level. That we can't come out the body to do this. We've got to do it physically as a collective. And obviously our mind is going to go through it. So we can see, if we place two spirals together side by side and then meet in the middle. So you've got a spiral, the big end is each side, the wide expansive is here, and they both meet in the middle there. Okay. So
Yes.
we're somewhere at this moment here, and we're just about to pierce the new spiral or the new portal, which is it. So both these represent a portal, and we've come in. I mean, again, this is linear, so we've got to be completely open, expansive. I'm just using the linear again and directional.
To help us understand, to get sort of a visual perception so that we can kind of lean into these concepts.
Yeah, hopefully. So we're almost on the brink. Not quite.
Yeah.
We've just got the next 3 years are going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. I believe. Literally, if we're going to 2030, then we're going to be living in a totally different world, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it is happening now. We are in it now, but we're not in it completely. So we're almost sensing the doorway. And that's why this light and this energy, what we're all affected by, like I think, who was it? I think Cindy mentioned about people, the way people, because that stuck out, the way people are feeling it at the moment. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Brilliant stuff.
Not A to B. They're also in between. Yes.
Yeah. There was another one. I think she mentioned people are feeling it's okay if we can't find it.
Yeah, it's right here. People are feeling this hard right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is a really, really important thing, an aspect as well. So thank you for this, Cindy, because I think when we're talking about being spiritual, compassionate beings, that's needed. The space what everybody's creating at the minute is needed more than ever, even towards people what's in this space, because people what's in this space they're more open, to whatever degree. The more open somebody is, the more they're going to feel these waves and energies and change, obviously. So it's important that, I know we've heard this before, that we kind of stick through the thick and thin of this together as a community, as a global spiritual community, feeling lost and no direction. We've just got to be there, and our hands got to be ready to reach out and catch people. It's got to be. And I think
there's a reason that people get lost. It's that feeling lost and no direction, because what happens is when you expand out of your normal mind frame and mind space that you're in, you end up in this no man's land. This is kind of part of the transformation. It's as if think of like Minecraft video game or some other kind of video game, and you travel off the terrain to where all there is empty terrain. There's no more other structures anymore. You're just in this empty space where nothing's been programmed there, right? But that space, I'm getting chills with it. That space is it's very scary to the mind, to the psyche, because your personality part of your psyche doesn't know what to do with that. So that feeling of lost and no direction makes complete sense that people would experiencing that. I would just offer that might be a good thing, because that's taking you back home to your higher self in a way that, because I've got chills with that too. So it's like, I've been there. Pema Chodron used to talk about, visiting no man's land many times in your transformative process. Every time your mind gets taken into an expansion, it's like all the old structures, all of that doesn't make any sense anymore, but you long to feel some sense of belonging, some sense of reality again. And then my question is what is reality? Is reality real? What is reality?
It's weird. It's just a word. It's just a word which we try to perceive and relate to in human terms, but it's just a word. Everything's just a word. You know. Beautifully said, Jennifer. Absolutely beautifully said.
Thank you.
I would say to be honest, I think we're at the point now where I'm sorry for laughing at this one, but I would say to everybody in the chat, everybody who's watching this, everybody who's even if you're kind of in the chat or not, I would say to everybody, start your own things, start podcasts, go online, do anything, start sharing, something similar to this. Everybody needs to do something similar to this, because there's always people out there, like what's just been referred to, what are not hearing this information. So the more of us, especially now at this moment in time, the more of us what are out there speaking about all these things, the better. I'm one of them. It's like, guys, every one of you, start your own podcast tonight. Don't make any excuses. Just get on with it.
Or you're going to keep seeing our two faces over and over and over again. We'll keep coming back.
I think I've just sensed a couple of them going, oh, okay, I'm going to do it then.
So I got to come to Melissa, because she's talking about the heart space and unconditional love and raising the frequency. I get where she's going, because it's very easy to look out into the world and just feel disgust and contempt and at the depravity, the lack of humanity, the violence, the all of that. I totally understand that. And at the same time, it's like I think it's okay to feel the angst of that kind of negativity, of how dense it is, and the suffering, and to have compassion for the suffering. And at the same time, it feels like the biggest medicine is still going to be staying in your heart frequency, staying in unconditional love and compassion. It doesn't mean you're condoning the action or the behavior. It just means you're staying in a frequency that's going to help transform what's around you, versus it transforming you into a very, very sad, hopeless feeling, if that makes sense too. So I don't think this is a time where we can keep holding on to blame and holding on to pointing fingers and this, you did that, and you did all of that. I just don't think it's a time where we can stay super attached. And I'm not talking about suppression or repression, because that doesn't work either. We acknowledge what's there. It's just the decision of how much of a grip does it have on our minds at that time too. So that's what I want to offer. But yeah, Melissa, a really good point about the heart space. And I think she was talking about,
very much.
Melissa, thank you for being here. And so she's talking about a portal. Keep getting shown the portal and the heart space and letting in the light through.
Yeah, there you go. This is beautiful. Yeah. So for those I know you know Melissa, Jennifer, but those what don't know Melissa, She's absolutely beautiful. So she's not good. She's going to hate me for saying this anyway. She's an absolute beautiful soul, and she does a lot for Ethereal Virtual Centre. She leads the trance healing weekends on there. Apart from Minorca Consciousness Group, we've got Ethereal Virtual Centre, so there's a lot happening on there. Melissa takes a lot of those classes and courses.
Yeah.
There's one, I don't know when the next one is, on the 18th or something, with Crystal's art class. So many other things what Melissa's doing. Thank you so much, Melissa. It's beautiful stuff.
Thank you, Melissa.
And sometime at the end of May or beginning June, she's going to be doing podcast in our Cosmic Lounge in America, because she's in America.
Excellent. I'd like to have her on Embracing Infinity too.
I think she might be inviting you on to one.
Melissa. I want to give some love to Sarah Murray. She's posted that she's lost her 18-year-old son Dylan tragically. I'm so sorry, Sarah. So if we could just all send her some love right now, just give a moment to her, because I'm feeling you too. So I just want to send you love and let you know that you're not alone through this too. Yeah. So thank you for showing up, because you're in a healing energy with all of us here. So I just want to thank you for showing up today and sharing vulnerably too. And so, yeah. A lot of us here are moms. We know. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Stay with us, Sarah. Stay in the space and take the light of this space. Stay with us. You're not alone. Everybody's walking together.
I'm so sorry. I'm confused, because she was saying 18 years tragically, and she's saying she was 6 months pregnant. So I'm sorry if I'm not understanding. It does appear that you've lost a child. So I just, either way, I'm very sorry for your lost love.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. So you got a lot of love and healing. Cindy sending you love and healing. Sarah, hugs from Kim Princess.
Beautiful.
Hugs from Natasha. So lots of love coming your way, everybody. Love and healing from Jennifer, Sarah. Love and healing from Vivian, Sarah, too. Okay, let's see. He was a miracle baby after 18 years. Oh, okay. She was trying for 18 years. Oh, wow. I don't know if this helps, but for a soul to even have that 6 months of life inside of your body connected to you, to a soul, that's a gift. And it's like that 6 months of connection was still a gift. And I always say every life and every passing is sacred. So the tragic loss of, it's hard when it's so tragic like that too, but it's still sacred. So find the grace and the sacredness of your baby too. But there's so much love. I feel you. See, I'm an empath, so I can feel her beautiful heart. Healing coming from Arnie for you, Sarah. Yeah. And healing coming from Misty too. I'm happy you ladies are here too. Healing coming from Michelle Oliver. So lots of love. Yeah.
Sarah,
okay.
Thank you. Sarah, please just deal with it the way you're dealing with it at the minute. And just let the emotions flow. Let all the energies flow naturally. Let it be what it is. Try not to control it too much. Just let it flow. And just deep love and respect for you, Sarah.
Yeah. There's no way you're supposed to do this. You're doing it how you do it. You're doing it how you do it. So grief is not a linear process. Speaking of non-linear process, me and my shadow sending you some hearts too. So, so proud of him. You find more joy than pain after feeling. Amen. Yeah. I'm happy that and it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay. Because then we're being more authentic, saying I'm okay when you're not okay. No, I'm not okay. Yeah, sometimes you're just not okay.
Yeah.
And that's all right too. So so I hope you're feeling all this love for you. So thank you for joining us again too. So
Vivian, very beautiful, Vivian.
Yeah. So
thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Just to see all the comments about this situation. This is the world we're supposed to be living in.
Exactly. So
No,
she
amazing.
she came in and gifted us with a demonstration of love. So how about that? Which is just what Melissa was speaking about.
Yeah.
Was love. Yeah. Yeah. So funny how that all works, isn't it? Too. Okay.
The journey of the soul. This is the journey of the soul.
The journey of the soul, making its journey. And I know it's so hard for us as humans because there's not enough time. There's just never enough time with the people that you love, and it will, always be that way. But to a soul, to even have a short experience of being human is valuable and rich and magical. To that I do know. Like,
I've got a question. I've got a
Mhm.
question for you, Jennifer, and it's a question for
Okay.
everybody else. And it's of this nature, of that nature, what Sarah's experiencing. Do you think that yourself and all of us, myself included, decide to undertake that experience, to come from where we come from as a soul and depart at that, that time, 6 months, 3 months, even longer? Do you think we all have to? No, not have to. Do we put ourselves through that experience before, the soul has the opportunity to enter the physical world? Because I don't think it's exclusive. No, it's not exclusive. I don't think it's, exclusive to a certain group of people. I haven't. Exclusive is not the right word, so please forgive me. But I think you know what I'm saying. Makes sense?
So I think what you're asking me is, does a soul pre-plan their exit?
No.
And
Do
that what
we
you're
think?
asking?
No, I'm asking.
Okay.
Have we all experienced being a soul of that nature? What Sarah's just described. Not Sarah's. Not
Have
Sarah's
we
soul.
all at some point, because we've had multiple incarnations and multidimensionality, have we all experienced a shorter life
Yeah. Yeah.
as human?
Yeah. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah. I don't mean under its normal sense where we pick our journey, etc., etc. That's clear. It's just this relating to this particular situation with Sarah. Do we,
Mhm.
as a soul, say, okay, I'm going to have all these experiences, and one of them is going to be I'm going to enter into the body, but I'm also going to leave the body before I step into the physical world, as in being born. Does that make sense? Yeah.
It would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
would make
I'm
sense
just
that we've
curious
all
about
had that
people's thoughts.
experience too.
Because
Yeah.
it's almost as if there's no limits to what we choose to do as a soul on this. Yes. Annie,
Yeah.
oof.
We were all killers. We were all victims. We were all the goat. We were all the hero. It is experience for growth. That does help for us to remove judgment,
Yeah.
and have compassion. And we can still say we want to change things and make them better and feel the grief of the horrible things that we see happening. But it gives us a lens of compassion and that lack of judgment of the soul, not the action, but the soul, the light of the being behind. There is a light of being in every body that is pure. We can focus on that. We can send love to that, and it helps to remove judgment too. And I do think that helps us too with the ascension. So it's a tricky thing because we do want change.
Yeah.
We do want change, and we don't want to spiritually bypass.
Yeah. Brilliant point. I agree, Kelly. And this is a great point. I'm pleased we paused on this one. I'm going to be doing a chat with Annie tomorrow night on Cosmic Lounge. And you can see it's going to be quite an interesting talk with Annie. So thank you. The other thing I wanted to say, though, is Sarah, in this case, is experiencing the event from one side, and the soul of the child is experiencing the event from another side. It makes me wonder if Sarah had swapped roles at some point.
Maybe she was the baby at one time too. So they both have the experience.
Mm.
I just heard that U2 song "Two Hearts Beat as One." If that
Yeah.
if that gives you a little bit of something
Yeah.
beautiful to hold on to, because I feel like that's for her from Spirit World too. Two hearts beat as one.
Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful.
Especially like, it's the soul family, soul contracts, soul mates. They
Yeah.
they're one heart sharing an energy, but having two different experiences at the same time within the
Yeah.
singularity too. I have another question for you. When we talk about the other side, we think of the other side as in spirit world, but we also think of the other side as an ascension. Are we speaking of two different sides, two different experiences?
When you say ascension, do you mean ascending to the spirit world?
Well, that's when we talk about the other side because we're thinking of when we actually physically pass. But in
Yeah.
ascension, that's another other side where we're still in our human bodies, but sort of because we're talking about light beings and light bodies and all of that.
Yeah.
So,
I think I get it.
are they two separate places?
I think it. Well, okay.
Did I open up another can of worms on you?
Jennifer, you got such a beautiful
Sorry.
mind. I absolutely love it. Right. So
We're going a little twisty pretzel. As Dolores Cannon would always say, I'm going to turn your mind into a pretzel.
So I think we each visualize the spirit world in our own way. Well, we do because it's according to our own perception and our understanding. It's funny because when we gain our information, knowledge, and awareness, or the expansive awareness takes place, our perception of the spirit planes can change and the spirit world. So, interesting enough, we know they're not separate. We're not separate from them. We're only separate without opening it, because me and you both know this. The only divider is the one in our mind. So, and I would say it's the same with ascension. The ascension in this case is our mind, and we use this word expansion. So let's go back to the spiral. As we ascend up the spiral, we can move our consciousness in a certain way where it's kind of opening up and becoming. And when we're talking about opening our consciousness up, in effect, what's happening, we're opening our field of energy up. We're loosening all the densities. And as we loosen that, so the expansion of consciousness isn't this singular thing expanding. It's our whole field of awareness, which is opening up. So in effect, our whole field of awareness is allowing our consciousness to ascend, if that makes sense. So when we're talking about, is it separate? Now then, and this is where the unifying factor comes in.
No, right.
As our field of awareness opens up, we then perceive the spirit world at the same time simultaneously. So we're ascending at what we can say in any given moment, and we're expanding into the spirit world and perceiving the spirit world in any given moment. So both of them are taking place simultaneously in the now, as when any shift takes place within us in that form of expansion of our awareness, of our consciousness, we perceive the spirit world and ascension simultaneously. It's only our own, I'm not going to say gross mind, to use a Buddhist term, it's only our gross mind, or Colin's term is our present consciousness, what is limited, it's got its blinkers on. So we go, okay, let's go into the subconscious mind. Let's go to the subtle mind. And there we perceive the expansion and the opening up to both those, not possibilities, but realities.
We think of physical reality as separate, and we think of sometimes ourselves as separate, but when that is the one thing that has stood the test of time. You know how I am about a lot of the spiritual stuff out there. It needs to be revamped a bit, but the lack of separation is a real thing, that the worlds are simultaneously, like you said, are already interacting in one space, but it feels like spirit world is there and we're here too.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's where it really starts to trip the light fantastic, because we're just like, what?
Yeah.
We're channeling our reality, and there's so much evidence of that we're channeling this reality. It's fascinating. But we're going to channel another reality where we are experiencing it less dense, less physical, more telepathic, more magical, all of that too. And I think we have reached the critical mass. Like, there's no going back. We are at a point of no return. Would you agree?
Yeah. Life. Yeah. Sorry, Jennifer. Sorry.
No.
Oh, sorry. So
your turn.
Yeah, we can life as we know it life as we did know it has gone.
Yeah.
Just like a thought 5 minutes ago, it's gone. But we have a tendency to hang on to the physical aspects. Forget it. It's gone. Life as we know it is no longer coming back. It will never come back to be the same. All this, some people will really like me for this one, and that's a joke, obviously. Right. All this business is of saying we've got to go back. We've got to go back to the old ways. We've got to go back. Ridiculous. Having the mind of that nature keeps somebody grounded in the density of the frequencies, which belong to the chains which have held us in the past. We can't go back to the past. It's impossible at this moment in time. We've got to undergo this change. In the physical sense, we can look at all sorts of things in the past. Who wants to go to the past anyway? And it's not that we're going to forget anything. The phenomenal memory within our consciousness comes back in an instant when we need it to. Anyway, it's like every day we remember how to dress. We don't just get up one morning and just go, walk out the door naked. And somebody goes, what are you doing? Like, oh, I forgot to dress.
Well, some people might do that.
Well, wanted to. It's not the best analogy, is it? I know. I was trying to think of another one quick.
God bless them.
Shocking. Anyway.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying is that the past.
Yeah. No. I totally. And I wonder if what we could. I'm just going to use the word return to is with our higher consciousness, but maybe we could say reclaim a time where people worked together in community, and maybe food was not as processed, and there was connection with nature and connection with the cosmos, and we seem to have lost or dimmed the connection to the earth, to the cosmos, to our ancestors, to each other. If maybe we could reclaim that part and move it forward into the ascension.
It's not happening.
No. Darn.
I know. It's not happening. This is
okay. It's completely different. Let's just So basically just a blank slate, and we'll see.
Yeah, Jennifer. I get it.
Yeah.
I really get it, because a lot of people say similar ways to what you've just described. I'm off grid, I'm going back to the way it used to be, etc., without realizing subconsciously what they're doing is still hanging on to the past. Now, their motive and intention might be pure, which can't be disputed. However, but behind that, there's a failure to accept that we're in the moment, that there was an order to everything what's happening at this moment, not just on the planet, but to the whole of the cosmos. And therefore we go, okay, if the cosmos is in perfect order, I am where I am at the minute, I'm where I am, right. I know I'm facing forward. So, and I must be facing forward for a reason, what I call forward. We can say I'm present, but we have a tendency to go, we're facing forward. That on its own is telling us to utilize the past and all energy from the past, transform it, and it will project us forward faster. It will project us into the new world and new reality better. So But just quickly coming back to that last point, because I think it's really relevant, which is this transformation and this shift which is happening, to let go of everything and know that we're not going back. I know, so for some people, they'll have that nostalgia about the past. We've all got nostalgia within us, obviously. That's coming with us because that's a part.
Can I bring my 80s music with me?
You can, yes, of course you can. You know, any tapes and CDs, or you know,
Duran is coming with me.
Duran come with Jennifer. So,
sorry, little cosmic humor. Have you met Judith Miller? She's over in Ireland, and she's a physical medium as well as a beautiful mind. Like, she's got a very expansive mind and does a lot of like podcasts on all of this kind of material as well too. So I feel like I'm happy to kind of
yeah, she's been on to ours, Jennifer.
Yes, excellent. Yeah. So I haven't heard of what you were speaking of. And Kelly saying the world as what is in it, not what it needs to ever be what's in your soul. Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
That's one, Kelly.
And then Judith, letting go of the need to control and allow the creation that has taken place in every given moment.
That means control of everything, Judith. Everything. That's our biggest hurdle, or one of the biggest hurdles, is our inner sense of grasping control. And when we meditate, and because a lot of the controlling factors, what we think with our present consciousness, we can sort out and look at and analyze and, you know, change. But the majority of them are actually, we can see them better when we go inside and deep inside through meditation and stillness. And we go, woof, okay, I've been controlling something for 20 years, didn't even know I was doing it. We can have them sort of moments, you know. So this is, totally control.
There is a space within the space.
Yeah.
And that's the space that we're finding ourselves to be in.
Space, the final frontier.
We have entered the twilight zone, everybody. Here we go. Are you ready to go to the other side of infinity?
Please do. Go for it.
Do we get a choice, Colin?
A twist?
A choice?
A choice? No.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
We've already made the choice.
Yeah.
We've made the choice to experience that what we're experiencing and that what we're about to experience in this world. And it's going to be beyond anything what people could kind of envisage as far as its illumination is concerned.
Well, there you go.
There's always a twist.
There's always a twist.
There's always a twist.
That's why they call it a spiral, right? All right.
Yeah.
Quick question. Anything that people should avoid, like distractions that would distract them from their process, if they're wanting to kind of, you know, lean into the process versus being dragged by their higher self.
I would say, talking about chakras, actually, I would say there's certain things I would advise people to do, and that is clear whatever is within you. And when I say clear, I mean draw it towards your light, and because that's the big transformation factor. Anything what you're looking at to be free from, draw it to you and let your light transform it as much as you possibly can. Keep smiling more than anything. Keep smiling, keep laughing, keep joking, keep the humor, because it's going to get very serious in the coming couple of years. Very. So the humor is going to be massive. It's going to be really needed to lighten things up for a lot of people.
Okay. So you and me are going to do our cosmic comedy hour, because we're very good at this, Colin.
We are. Yes, we are.
Cosmic comedy hour. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. Keep a sense of humor, because that does raise the frequency. It does raise the vibration. Yeah. Doesn't mean you don't care. It just means you're staying in a space that's helping other people to feel better and to understand that there is an expanded state beyond the density as well too, that we want to, and the cosmos have a sense of humor, people. I mean, so let's just roll with that.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I got one more question for you, Colin.
Yep.
The other half of us, our higher self, they're already on the other side of that portal, like you said. If they were gonna give us a little, what would they want to say? What like word or phrase would they want to say through the portal to all of us to hear right now as a little message? A little, you know how they give us a breadcrumb or a nugget of.
Oof. Okay. Do not hang on to anything. Nothing.
That's hard.
Nothing material, nothing mentally, nothing energetically, nothing emotional. Even with frequencies, do not hang on to anything, including the belief and concept that you have a soul. A soul is a human concept. We are entering into, when we're talking about beyond infinity, when we're talking about letting go of all things we understand and comprehend up to this moment in time, one of those things we're going to be letting go of regarding our perception will be the belief that there is a soul. And we have to let go of that also. And that's going to be a big one for a lot of people, because there's only emptiness of awareness. Infinite emptiness. And that is beyond infinity.
Well, I think that's your mic drop moment, my friend. So that means as we go through this path, this journey on this talk and moving forward too, is we take in information, but we just don't fixate it on it. We just move in and the next comes and the next comes. So just keep rolling with it, with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to talk about ETs and star beings. So
not yet.
We're coming back, everybody. Sorry. Part 2 of The Other Side of Infinity on its way.
Oh, that, I was just thinking, I was looking at Kelly's comment. Maybe there is a twist. Actually, Kelly, maybe that is the twist, that there isn't actually a soul. That would be a twist at the end of the story for everybody, wouldn't it?
One big, infinite, beyond conscious awareness. Can we at least say it's a loving one?
Yeah, well, we can still use the word soul because it's beautiful, isn't it? But without grasping it,
without fixating on it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Okay.
Brilliant.
With the breath. All right. Everybody, you can find Colin on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube at the Menorca Consciousness Group. You can go to his website, ethericweb.com, and you can purchase his book, The A to Z Index of Spiritualism, Vanna Rose. So I'm playing right now. And it's excellent because literally every word you ever thought of in spirituality is in here, and it'll give you an explanation of it too, with Colin's beautiful mind too. So the Sacred Spiral Network is going live in about 40 minutes with our producer Kelly Brickle and Michael Christopher, evidential medium and also host of Spiritually Imperfect on the Sacred Spiral Network. So it's time for us to sign off and say goodbye for now. And please tune in to Colin and Arnie's live discussion over in the Cosmic Lounge on the Menorca Consciousness Group Facebook page and YouTube page. And this discussion will be continued in their special way as well too. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure I will be able to be there and tune in. And I will say, live well, love you well, and have a cosmic ride, everybody. Lots of love. And thank you, Colin. I love you so much. I love all of our guests. I love Kelly. And here we go. Blast off, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Lots of love.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.